Okay, welcome guys. It's Sunday. I think it's the 27th of November. Who else feels like the year's just gone cray cray? So because it's training, come off, mute if you want to ask questions, but I have to mute everyone because I have this like amazing ability to not be able to multitask. So we had this really cool training yesterday, I think it was, and yeah, it was awesome to be able to learn from one of our company heads, Celine Egan, who she did 22 years in direct selling with other companies, and then she bought Introduce Plus 2 years ago, I think. It was just after I joined the company. So she's an incredible woman, incredible mentor, and she really taught us loads, yesterday in this game she calls Playing Above the Line. And it's really easy to definitely get into your business. I've definitely done it before, and there'll be times where I'll do it again, but it's about she calls it playing above the line. Okay, so it's taking 100% responsibility. And you can do this in all aspects of your life, not just business, but all aspects of your life, not blame, shame, and justifying. And there's definitely times where we do this in life. Okay, so I want you guys to draw so it says 100% responsibility, yeah? And then you're going to draw a line under it, and you're going to do blame, shame, and justify, yeah? Okay. So you think about any time in your life, okay, where you've blamed, shamed, and justified, yeah? So you think about any time in your business. You think about any time that you've really, done this. So, you think about blaming is blaming out. So it's about you being here and everything goes outward. Okay, so you're blaming other people, my upline, my downline, my sidelines, the company shit, all this thing. And you start to blame other people for what's not going right. Okay, or then, shame is really beating yourself down, shaming myself and putting you down. When you're talking to someone, I guess, and you shame yourself of, my leadership skills aren't great, or if you're not talking about business, why did someone leave me, and you're not taking 100% responsibility, and you're in the shame game. I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough, all those things. You start to shame yourself. And then justify is really a story, and if I know some people are here from the UK. If you came to that day we put on in Newcastle, with Emma Sneds and myself, is just justifying is just stories. The people that I'm talking to aren't committed types of people. That's why my business isn't where it's going to be. Or, what happened to me when I was 2 years old is why I'm not successful in life right now. It's justifying is all the stories, all the excuses. And don't get me wrong, there are stories. I think about my health when I think about this. I think about, awesome, Karen. I think about, I shame myself for not going to the gym, and it just becomes, and then I justify every reason why I haven't gone, right? I had calls booked in, I had this to do, I had that to do. There's 24 hours in a day, Lauren. You have a 24-hour gym membership. You can go, right? So I look at what happens with my health. I get in a state of blame, shame, and justify, and blaming is blaming outside of yourself. Blaming the weather, blaming the people, blaming your team. Like if you're talking about business, you're blaming your downline, your sideline, your uplines, the company, the product is shit, right? You're in just blame mode. Who else can I blame? I'm not taking responsibility for it. So you're playing below the line. You shame yourself why you're not good enough, why you're crap, why you're not pretty enough, like slim enough, whatever, right? You start to shame yourself. I'm not a good leader. Then you justify. And we sometimes go through all of these. Sometimes we only live in one. Like I don't blame, but I definitely shame and justify. Okay, I might blame. I've definitely blamed in my life, but in my business, it's always shame and justify. It's always my leadership skills aren't good enough. So what you have to ask yourself once you are consciously aware, okay, once you are consciously aware, I promise you can't go back. Once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. So I think about in my strongest days in the gym, right, when I could lift massive amounts of weight and I could squat lots and I could run, like I ran a marathon once upon a time. Yeah, and I taught myself how to do those things, and a trainer taught me how to do those things. And persistence and consistency taught me how to do those things. I didn't learn it in a day, but I learned techniques over time that taught me how to do those. Can I ever unlearn it? So right now I'm not my fittest. Could I ever run a marathon again? Could I ever get in the gym and lift massive amounts of weight again? Yes. I learned it once. I don't have to relearn it. Okay. It is just mind and muscle memory, to be honest. And that's so much of this business. So when we get in a state, so it's not about, okay, I'm fixed, right? Oh, I'm not going to blame again, or I'm not going to shame, or I'm not going to justify. I'm always going to be above that line. I'm always going to be taking 100% responsibility. No. You're going to get times where you get down here. And when you're consciously aware, then you can't go back, I promise you, because you'll recognize it and you'll be like, oh, and you could keep playing small and below the line, but I promise you, you'll get called out and you'll want to play above the line. So in those moments, 100% responsibility is what can you do in that very moment? What can you do right now? What can you do today? Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next year, not your New Year's resolution. What can you do today to go above the line? And it always is, what do you need to know? Like, what is it that I need to know? What is it that I need to take responsibility for to go above that line and play above the line and take responsibility? What can you do today to do that? You can write some things down. Where is a time in your business? Maybe it's right now. Maybe it was last month. Maybe, it's been times. When have you blamed? When have you shamed? And when have you justified? You can write in the comments below. And what is it that you need to do to go and play above that line? And it's honestly, like I've written down here, like I blame my leadership skills in not being able to help people, the team, through their own stuff, and honestly, in this business, it's just a conscious journey. So it's a conscious journey. Will you, in times of life, get in this? Yes. Will you go below that line? Yes. But what do you need to know in that moment to go above it? Yeah. And you can do something fun, okay, with yourself. So you can say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. Or every time that I do get in this state or start making up stories, I'm going to put $1. I'm going to put 50 cents, whatever it is, in a jar. Okay. And then every 3 months, every 6 months, I'm going to go out and donate that money to charity. Yeah. Do something good with it. Yeah. It's not a punishment, but it's an understanding, because you can look at that jar and I promise you, once you start to understand your patterns, then it'll get less and less and less. And you'll have to give less money to charity, which isn't a good thing, but you can go and give money because you want to, not because you're like, I have like $100 here because I did this a lot this 3 months. And you start to understand your patterns, but go and do something fun with it. Go and give that money to charity. Go and, make it fun and a game out of it. Yeah. So Karen, I shame and justify a lot. I'll go and read that comment in a minute properly. But, we all get in times of this. Yeah. So it's, what do I need to know right now? What can I do right now to go and play above that line and take responsibility? And usually it's just owning it. It's owning whatever story you're making up. It's about, maybe you're shaming yourself, so you got to get in that state of gratitude. Or maybe you're blaming someone else, and then you've got to take a step back and you're like, hey, what do I need to learn from this? Life is happening for me and never to me. What can I learn from this? Because does it feel like sometimes, like, there are crap situations, don't get me wrong, but does it feel like sometimes life is like, you're like, why did this happen to me? Didn't happen to you. It's how you reacted to it. Yeah, nothing happens to you, I promise. And someone said, but someone passed away in my life. And I promise you, someone will pass away again. That's the circle of life. It's how you react to it. Can you be sad? Can you go through grief? Yes. But then go and understand that there's gratitude and there's a beautiful thing out of everything that happens. And it's just how we react to things. So that is a really great game to do with you and your team. And understanding, do we have a coaching business? Yes. Okay, so it's about how to coach people through that. And so this is a great thing to be like, you're going to get on a call with someone, they'll be like, oh, I can't get to this promotion because this person's not doing this, and my upline didn't do this, and the company changed the rules, and the goalposts have changed, and the bonuses have changed, and all this. Guess what? That's life. Right then, you're like, okay, cool. So are you cool if I play a game with you right now? Are you cool if I, so let's write this out. And let's see where you're playing. Are you playing below that line? Are you taking 100% responsibility in what you can do about it and what you can do about how you react? Yeah. So this is a great tool and a great game to really help people move forward. So that's one thing we learned. And to be fair, I actually learned that really early on in the business. Celine taught me, but it was a great reminder, because over time, you will get in states of that, and so will your team. So it's a great way to help people move past it. And just, one of my mentors, Linda, she's a big believer in, great questions, great coaching questions. And people say, well, I'm not a coach, but every single person, can be a coach within this business. And you're going to have times where you need to be a coach and coach people through things. Yeah. So for me, some great coaching questions. People are going to get on calls with you, and and they're going to be in those three things. They're going to be blaming, they're going to be shaming, they're going to be justifying. Justify is a big one. So many people justify where they are not, okay, to keep playing small because they're just frustrated. And I'm going to give you some tools at the end of this, how to set up your day for success and be as impactful as you can within your business. And there won't be any room for that frustration and fear and anger and things like that. But some great coaching questions. When someone, listen to them. First of all, listen to them. They're going to bitch, they're going to moan, there's going to be lots going on. And a great coaching tool and question is, how's that working out for you? Yeah, tell me how that's working out for you. Because when people get in that cycle of justification and blaming and shaming and neg ferret stuff and stories, I promise you it's just spiraling around in a circle. How's that working out for you? And they'll take a moment. They'll be like, yeah, not good. And it's like, cool. So what's it actually costing you right now? Someone asked me that once, and I was like, happiness, joy. Yeah, what's it costing you right now? Is it costing you your health? Is it costing you your sanity? Is it costing you your happiness, your joyfulness, your marriage? What's it costing you right now to be in that playing small below that line? What's that costing you? What is that story you've got running in your head costing you right now? Yeah? And what can we do today? Like, honestly, that is the question. What can we do right now? What can we do this week? Yeah, what can we do today to move past that? And you listen, and they'll be like, I don't know. What about if you did know? If you thought long and hard, what about if you did know? And sometimes there's going to be things come up that are big, that are life-changing. And sometimes the decisions are going to be tough. But in their heart of hearts, they know. Like what? And another great question to ask when they're like, I'm not you, I'm not a great leader. I couldn't talk like you. I couldn't present like you. I can't do this because, I don't have enough, I don't have a big network. I don't know enough people. I don't have enough time, or I'm shit. I'm not good enough. Yeah. Because that's people's two biggest fears, the fear of judgment and the fear that they're not going to be good enough. And if they're not good enough, they won't be loved. Biggest fears people have. So when someone listens to you talk, someone watches an event, someone is watching you, I promise you, what's going through their head is, do I know, like, and trust this person? And could I do this. So when you are talking a big talk and, you know, people are like, oh, that's not, I couldn't do that. So that's why I just keep it simple. But some real great question to ask when someone in your team, a customer, whatever it is, it's a great life skill to have. When someone's telling you a story and they're justifying or they're blaming someone else or they're shaming or, you know, they're playing below that line and they're in that kind of negative headspace, stop. What's the real truth in that? Someone asked me this, or my coach asked me this, just before I went to the UK. I was on a coaching call and I had been outed by someone. Definitely, someone close to me kind of said some pretty negative stuff about me, and I was caught up in this story. But what I'm proud of is, you know, it used to be I would wallow in that for a month. God, I've wallowed in something, a big story I used to tell myself for 3 years. You know, I was so wallowing in something for a month was good, but then I got it down to a week and then I got it down to a day. But when I was telling this story and I was trying to justify why it wasn't true, he's just like, stop for a minute. Just stop. Put your hand on your heart and tell me what's the real truth in that. What's your truth? And I'm like, there is no truth to it. He's like, cool, let's move past it. What can we do to move forward? So it's a great coaching tool. Is like, what's it like? How's that working out for you, that story right now? What's it costing you? And what's the real truth in it? What is your truth? Because your truth, I promise you, is the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter what someone else thinks of you. It doesn't matter what, like Joe says down the road or at the pub. It matters what your truth is. So when someone doubts the company and doubts the product and doubts the industry and doubts this, people with certainty have a certain real truth to that. So people say, how do you gain that certainty? It's about building belief. And I'll talk about that as well. But, you know, what's your real truth? And then the next question, like, are you ready? Which I just got told I had to move forward. But are you ready to move forward and leave it behind? Yeah. And they'll say yes, and then they'll come back with like a fear. Yeah, I do want to, but no, like, well, no buts. Are you ready to move forward and through this and leave it behind? Are you ready to leave that BS story because you know your real truth? Are you ready to move forward into that truth? Because you can know it, but are you living it? So it's really, really some great coaching tools there. When people are playing below that line, how do I get them into that 100% take responsibility? What's your real truth? How can we move forward through it? So there's some great coaching tools to have. What are the one or two things that you could do right now today in this moment that will bring you back to 100% responsibility? So it's just changing, changing habits to get people to take that responsibility, just like what I said. Cool. So that's a little responsibility game and some coaching tools. Hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully helpful. Yes, no. Awesome. So I want you guys, actually, I'm like, what's this part? I never understand my own notes. So what, like, write down below, like, some of the things that you could do right now, today, you know, this week to really get you in to that responsibility. So mine was take the time to actually make my schedule. So I have a schedule that I stick to. I'm a creature of habit. I need one. And it's a non-negotiable. And then mine was, to have the jar, make that jar. So when it does happen, I'm putting money in there, and that's a non-negotiable for me. So you guys can write below what are some things that you can do today, tomorrow, this week to move you past that. And then I'm going to help you guys through that. So playing above the line. Get really clear who you are, what you're about, how you will go about doing that. So when you're clear about who you are, where you're going, having a clear vision. And I think I just did a retreat last weekend. So not this weekend, but last. Time flies. And I really just I was just like, you know what? It's about having that third eye, you know, that vision about where you're going. So when you get really clear on who you are, what you're about, and where you're going, you know, that really helps not get into that blame, shame, and justify, because you can't help but take 100% responsibility when you know where you're going, right? The goalpost keeps changing. You keep changing it, right? You keep striving for bigger goals. It doesn't matter. Like, people usually get in this business because they haven't reached what they want to in the time frame then they set themselves. But when you take 100% responsibility and you know where you're going and you know your vision and you know who you are and you know who you want to attract, then yes, you want to do it as fast as possible. But you just get so obsessed with the process and love that, you know, the outcome is definitely there, but you're always growing that. And then delegate and simplify. So this is a big one, right? And I stayed with Emma Sneddon for, you know, honestly, almost 2 weeks. And she has done this. You know, that woman has an incredible work ethic. So delegate and simplify the no value activities in your life. So, you know, things like put a value in your time. And like, people say, well, I have to clean the house, or I have to, you know, do all this. And honestly, like, Emma had a cleaner 3 times a week. And I had this belief in my head that cleaners were expensive. Yeah. And I was like, how much does that cost you? And when she told me the price, I was like, Jesus, it's so cheap. I'd have a cleaner every day. Right. So you've got to put a value on your time, because people said, oh, I need to find the time. No. You don't find any more time. This time to me is irrelevant anyway. Yeah. It's just about how much, like, you only get 24 hours a day. Yeah. And you got to sleep, and there's non-negotiables like work when you're building this business. But what are those no value activities in your life that you need to delegate to simplify it? And I mean, like, cleaning. Yeah. So many people are like, oh my God, their house is a pigsty, and they can't work in that environment, which is fair enough. But then go and hire a cleaner for 2 hours, you know, 3 hours, 2 times a week. I promise you, when you look at that and how much more time you could devote to this, or whether it's, you know, taking, if you've got little kids, you know, really little kids, it's like, can you get a babysitter like 2 nights a week or something, so you can give this more focus on at least 2 nights a week. So what are those no value activities? I don't know what they could be for you, but put a value in your time and look how you can, you know, simplify it. Whether it's, you know, like doing flyers. I spend sometimes like hours doing flyers, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't make any money, right? They look pretty, but they didn't make any money. Could I go and hire someone that is incredible at that sort of thing, at images and at, what do you call that? Like web design stuff. You know, I want to build a website, and I'm like, I could build it myself. It'd take me forever, right? I'm good at social media. I'm not good at web stuff. I remember doing it in high school, and I was like, way over my head. Don't understand it. So it's kind of like, make yourself have that choice, you know, delegate and simplify, you know, maximize. So play to your strengths and find the people to do the rest. So like, honestly, my strength in the business is doing events. You know, my strength is talking. My strength is doing coaching calls. You know, I'm not, you know, my strength is, I guess recruiting. I'm great at recruiting. But, you know, I'm not great at, like, say, customer care, like really good customer care. So I, you know, hire someone to do that. Or I hire someone to, you know, call my customers, or put together packs or something like that. So maximize and play to your strengths and find people to do the rest. And that's in anywhere in life. You know, if your strength is doing this business and working, and your strength is not cleaning, your strength is not, you know, making sure the house is awesome, then hire someone to do that, yeah? Multiply. So leverage with other resources. Make great relationships, and, you know, that want to do business with you or for you. Okay, so this is a big one. So many people talk to people in life, and they're like, they go in for that kill. Right? They go in with, okay, like, I'm with the outcome of, I'm going to share my product or opportunity. Yeah. I love that, Deb. I'm paying my teenage daughter to do my flyers now, so I have more time to focus on having conversations. That's awesome. Right? Lily will love to make some more money, She's good at that type of thing, and Deb can use that, because I know Deb hates that. I know that, like, she's like, I don't understand Canva. I don't get how it works, you know. And so having, you know, Lily. So Lily wins, Deb wins, right? Because it's not a high-paying activity for Deb. She's not getting paid to do it, so she'd much rather pay her teenage daughter to do it. So multiplying, so leveraging with other resources. So many people go into conversations with people to make a deal, to do the, like, to kind of close the deal, yeah, to sell a product, or I've felt it, you know. You look at anywhere out there in traditional business, you know, I know, like, and this is probably going off topic a bit, but a sales assistant that does her job really well actually doesn't go in there to sell you clothes. Right? How many times do you walk into a store and they're like, can I help you with anything? And you're like, no, I'm just browsing. And she's like, okay, see ya. Like, goes back to whatever they're doing. And I'm like, okay. You know, and the great relationship builder is just like, okay, cool. Like, let me know, like, how's your day been? And you stay in the store longer, and, you know, and you pick something up and she's like, oh, that'll look amazing on you. Or, you know, oh, like, that's really trending well this season. And she's building relationship. Yeah, she's building a better relationship. So in this business, some people will never want to buy anything off you. Some people will not want to join your team, but build a great relationship and say, well, how could I serve this person? How could I help them? So I know, you know, for me, I have an amazing girl that is a web designer. Now, she doesn't want to join my business. She doesn't want to join my team. Yeah, but I've always kept a great relationship with her. She refers people to me. Like, get this, she refers people to me because I referred people to her. When anyone's like, hey, you know, like, does anyone know a great web designer? I tag her in the post. Like, you know, this girl's amazing. Definitely have a look at her work. And I've always built a great relationship. I have a friend that cleans and has her own cleaning company. When anyone's like, hey, does anyone know a great cleaner on the Gold Coast? Always send people her way. Guess what? She does the same for me. So it's always, you know, multiply, not just in this team and doing that, but what can you add value to someone's life that then they're like, hey, this person's awesome. I'm going to do business for them, right? I'm going to send people their way. You know, I have people all the time do that. So make great relationships, yeah? Then this is a really, really awesome tool also. So that's really, you know, playing above the line and how to leverage yourself a little bit. And this is another acronym, and it's called the ACE checkup. And Celine calls it the checkup from the neck up. So if you write ACE, yeah, the A stands for attitude. So this is a really good one also to do with team. So and yourself first, okay? We always look out, but you should look in first. Where is my attitude? You know, what do I bring to the table? Do I have an attitude of gratitude? You know, am I solution focused, not problem focused? Am I focused on solutions? Like, where's my attitude at? Am I a whinger? Yeah. Am I displaying servant leadership? Like, where is my attitude at? So in any instance, when we get into a state of, you know, blame, shame, and justify, have a look at where your attitude's at. Am I in a state of gratitude? Am I in a beautiful state? Am I looking at what I'm grateful for right now? Because until you're grateful for what you have, you'll never get any more. So what kind of attitude am I displaying? The C is for commitment. Okay. Sometimes it needs you. So this is commitment. Like, if we're talking about business, commitment to your business. You look at the wheel of life, commitment to your spirituality, commitment to your health, commitment to your finances, commitment to your growth, commitment to your friendships, commitment to your business, if we're talking business, right? And you look at people that are committed. There are people here in Australia, it is 9 o'clock where I live, it is 10 o'clock, okay, in other states. I know in the UK it's morning time. Some people I can see are like at work. Emma Sneds, she's on a flight, although I don't think she's on it anymore. I'm sure the Wi-Fi is crap. They say it's usually good, but it's never that good. So what is your commitment? Because sometimes, say an event, say you have to drive an hour to an event, say there's a conference on and you have to get on a plane, say there's I don't know, something going on, but you had work drinks that night, you know, something going on in the business. Or say, you know, someone wants to talk, but it's usually past your bedtime and you have to stay up, or something like that. Sometimes an event needs you, sometimes you need the event. What I mean by that is sometimes the event needs your energy. Sometimes it might need your story, but sometimes you need the event. You need the inspiration. You need to be around those people. So it's about commitment's about showing up in life, showing up in your business, yeah, showing up and doing the do, and really working on your non-negotiables. Definitely, like, there's work to be done, and when the wall appears, the work begins. You know, so many. There's actually that picture on Google Images, and it's like two people, and they're like got a I don't know, tools. They've got like a pitchfork thing, and they're like digging, and someone walks away just before the diamonds, right? And that other guy keeps going. So many people just walk away before the magic actually begins, before they have a breakthrough. Frustration really means you're close to having a breakthrough, right? You're breaking through that frustration. So what are you committed to? What are you committed to in your business every single day? What are you committed to in your health? Because when you make a change in one realm of your life, I promise you, everything will catch up. So I know my business is at its best when my health is on par, when my relationships are good, when I'm out having fun, right? I know, you know, my business suffers when other realms of my life suffer too. You're either in one or two states, a suffering state or a non-suffering state. And when you're in a suffering state, you're in a suffering state because you're thinking about yourself. And as hard as that is to hear, it's true. You're in a self-centric thinking. Yeah. I had to look up because I had to think what it was called. So you're in a self-centric thinking. So if you're suffering, you're usually making it about yourself. Okay. When you're in a beautiful state, in a state of gratitude, there is no suffering state. There is no time or room for fear. There is no time or room for rejection, because you're in an outwardly projected state. You're thinking of what you're grateful for and everything you have in your life. Okay, so what are you committed to in your business? Every single day, what are you committed to in your health? What are you committed to in your relationships? And then the E is for effort. So doing the do, not busy being busy, and, you know, working what we call your grid. So I don't have one here, I don't think, but it's like a calendar, like a 30 by 30 grid. And that's a great tool to have to like track how many conversations you're having. I like to do an active list. So a grid just got too much for me because I talk to so many people, because I do this full time. So I have an active list, and but a grid is great for people to keep track of who they're talking to, what they're doing. But I'm going to talk a little bit about how to set your day up and what to do. And doing, you know, the E for effort is doing the do and not being busy. How many times you're like, oh my God, I did so much today in my business and got no results? Because you were scrolling Facebook, or you were, I don't know, like pretending to be busy. Give yourself a time audit. So for a whole week, get a notebook and write down. And if you've ever done a food audit, so if you've ever been on a diet or you've been working with a PT, I used to do this to my clients every single day for 3 days. They had to do a food journal. And, you know, I would be pretty harsh on them. They had to like take photos and stuff because I wanted to see what quantity they were eating. I wanted to see what they were doing. And I could then see, well, you're not losing weight because let's have a look at your food. Yeah. I could see on a time audit of what you were doing every day to what, you know, what's not working or what is taking your time that definitely, you know, you could go and outsource, or you could, you know, I guess be a bit more productive in certain areas. So time audit yourself, but effort, like what are you committed to doing every single day? So attitude, commitment, and effort. I'll write those down. So this is also a really good tool, not just for ourselves, but for our team also. Okay, and it's called the ACE checkup. Yeah, so attitude, commitment, effort. What are you willing? What are you committed to doing? What's your attitude like? And how much effort are you actually putting in? Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to hear. This is a good lesson. So I don't know, it happens in the UK, it happens in Australia. People prejudge people. So, Celine really touched on people, like in this business, because it's a relationship building business, and, we might have had a conversation with someone or something like that. And people see them join another company or they join another team. And people say, oh my God, like, how come they went and joined, like, I was talking to them, they were my person. You don't own anyone. So make sure when you're going through this, like, effort, are you following people up? Are you actually having those conversations? Are you building those relationships? Because I prejudged people in the beginning, and I saw one of my friends join another company, and totally Juice Plus might not have been for her, but I never had the conversation with her. So I prejudged someone because I thought I knew better, because she had 4 children under the age of 10, because I thought, oh my God, she wouldn't be into this, because I thought she loved her career, because I thought, but then you think, oh my God, I did her an injustice, and she's happy and totally killing it, and that's all I've ever wanted for anyone. But don't be disheartened if someone joins another team, because then you have to go and you need to look in the mirror, and people blame, shame, and justify. Oh my God, that person must have poached them, or oh my God, I'm crap, so they didn't join me, or they make up a story as to why. But it's because you never had the conversation with them. So you have to take 100% responsibility for that. You've got to play above the line. But know that no one owns anyone. Where someone joins is completely up to them. And I teach my team this all the time. I had a girl I was just recently talking to go and join her best friend, because her best friend just joins the business. And I'm like, totally, I'd want to work with my best friend too. Yeah. So it's completely up to someone who they join and where they go. And I promise you, don't be the example and be the best, but know that you don't own anyone. Know this is a relationship business, and look in the mirror and go, who am I prejudging right now? Who am I not having a conversation with because I believe this? I believe they won't be interested because I believe you're making it about you, right? Instead of going, how could this potentially help someone? How could this product help? How could this business help? List down all the reasons and ask yourself who you're prejudging, and strike up a conversation. Don't go and pitch them a business. Don't go and pitch them a product. Go and build a relationship. Reach out, reconnect, build rapport. People will never buy something from you. People will never join your business unless they know, like, and trust you. I built a business from a cold market. I've got a couple of people in my business that knew me before, but most people are a cold market. I could not have been able to do this business doing that if people didn't know, like, and trust me, and really see a vision of where this was going, joining my team. So think about that. Be a business owner. How many times do we treat this like a hobby? If we treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. Treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. So understand, know how to, use your reports to find where they are. The reports, like, you will see the heartbeat of your business in that. You will see the heart, if your business isn't big enough, definitely you don't need to look at reports, but your upline should be doing that, because that's where you see where the heartbeat of your business is, how it's tracking, how it's looking. And people follow certainty. They follow you. There is only one difference between me and Jess, me and Holly, me and Gemma. I'm just looking at names down the side, me and Deb, and that's what we bring as individuals. So it's about the vision. It's about certainty. People follow certainty and clarity. So you have to look in the mirror and take that 100% responsibility and go, do I know who I am? Do I know where I'm going? And do I know that I am a business owner, and this is my vision? Because people follow that. They want to be part of that. So that was seriously, I have in bold letters, I'm good at reports, but track your reports, because that is the heartbeat of your business. The analogy that I used, if you're on the event just then, the baseball stadium, or the football stadium or the concert hall or whatever. Emma said this to me when I was staying with her in the UK, and it was such an epic example. But what I didn't know, that Jordan Adler, it's in Jordan Adler's book, and I need to go and read it again. So it's called Beach Money. Jordan Adler, I think he was part of honestly 16 companies before he found the right one. Now, I love that I didn't need to do that. Home for me was Juice Plus. I looked into a couple of companies before choosing it, but I never had to jump around. I love our product. I love the simplicity. And I know you guys are home also. There's something that we keep alive. We keep people because of our amazing company. But if you look at and think of Jordan said, if you think of a baseball stadium, he was at a baseball game and he looked around at the, 35,000 seats and they were all filled. And he was like, imagine if this was my team. Imagine if this was my business. Imagine the impact we'd have. Imagine the money I'd be making. Imagine the choices I'd have, for what I wanted in my life. And then a mentor in his life was like, just be the example, set the example, and know that if you could just, every event you go to, have someone to the left of you, someone to the right of you, someone in front of you, and someone behind you that you have invited that have come with you, every event. Go and do 5 events a week and imagine this. And now he has a much bigger team than that. And you just think, could you go and fill it yourself? No. But every event, every, a Zoom event, if you just think of the analogy, even someone to the left of you and someone to the right of you, imagine, and then the duplication comes into play. Could the person to the left of you and the person to the right of you, could they do the same? And then could their people do the same? And then could their people do the same? That it's not about what we can do, it's about what we can help other people do. So every month when you're setting your goals, think about 2 to survive, 5 to thrive. Celine said 3, I was like 5. So think about consistently every single month, 2 new distributors to survive in your business, 2 new distributors personally to survive. That's 24 a year. Yeah, I can do maths. Yeah, 5 to thrive. Think about over time having a goal of 5 new distributors to really thrive a month to thrive in your business. So think about that analogy. 2 frontline to survive, 5 new to thrive. Never prejudge the compound effect over time. You'll find the diamond. So you think about 2 new a month. Over 6 months, you've brought on 12 people. Out of 12 people, 2 to 3 might be real diamonds and really want it. 5, definitely will do something. The other 7, they might do a little bit. And then you've got to think about the mantras, love on people where they're at. 80% of your business will do 5% of the work. If you've never heard that before, I'll say it again. 80% of your business will do 5% of the work. 80, 15, 5. Think about that rule. 80% of your business will have 3 to 7 customers. One of the top earners, one of the top earners in the industry, Jeff Roberti told me that. Danny Martin said the same. They have massive businesses. 80% of your business will have 3 to 7 customers. Think about those people. They help you qualify your business. They help the pay line grow. And you think about, well, to get a good 80%, I have to have a wide business. Because if I have a narrow business, then that 80%, that 15%, and that 5% are very small. If I have a large foundation, a wide business, then a lot more are doing something. So 2 to survive, 5 to thrive. Every month, make a commitment. Make a commitment and build the effort to that. 2 to survive, 5 to thrive. And it's the compound effect over time. Okay, this is really good. So building relationships. So relationship building is key. Would you not agree to our business? So, go into a relationship like what I shared before is what can I give, not what can I get. People feel it. People feel sincerity. People feel genuine and authenticity. People feel like, have you ever been to a supermarket or a shop and there's people in the middle and they don't actually care whether I have nice skin already or whether I'm actually looking for something. They just care on what they can sell me at the time. So take a genuine interest in people. Understand how people tick. What are people's interests? What are people's passion? What are people's pains? What do they want more of? When you understand that, you understand how you can serve them. Yeah. Listen to people's desires, wants, and needs. You know, take a genuine interest and be curious. Go in with curiosity. And then, you know, we talk about certainty. People say, well, how do I gain certainty? How do I gain clarity? It's about belief, you know, and asking yourself, you know, what do I need to know to gain this belief? What do I need to know to gain belief in the product? What do I need to know to gain belief in the company? What do I need to know to gain belief in the industry? What do I need to know to gain belief in myself? It's a little bit harder, that one. It's a bit deeper. But when people have fears, right? When people say, I don't have enough time, I have too many children, I like my job, like, you know, like your job's pretty real, or, you know, I don't know enough people, things like that. When they come back to you with a fear, it's usually a masked fear. They say that to project out, but what they're inwardly feeling is, can I do this? Will I be good enough? Or, you know, how could I do this? So they might have, you know, that fear around that. So or they might just not know enough about the product, or they might not know enough about the business model or the industry or the company. So when you go in with your belief, you can't project that belief on other people. Yeah, so it's about taking a genuine interest on what they need to know to make an excited decision to get started, and how you can help them gain the belief. And it's just about understanding how they tick and what they need to know. And that comes from curiosity and asking good questions. I think this is probably just one of the last things I want to touch on. And this is, oh no, there's two more. This is a big one. Yeah. Because this is what makes people doubt the business, stop the business, feel overwhelmed with the business, feel like something's off kilter. Okay. And it's about living within your values. Okay. I learned this years ago from Mitch Bean, a course that I went to. And it was more around relationships, but in our business, we build relationships, and we have relationships with our customers, relationships with our team members, relationships with our sideline buddies. You know, we've got relationship business. So living within your values is really important. So you have to understand what your values are. Okay, what I value the highest and what you value the highest will be very different. Yeah, we might have similarities, but what we value could be very different. So I want you to think about, what are my top 1 to 5 to 10 values? So mine would be family, travel, money. What else? Friendship is actually probably number 1. I genuinely love my friends. But I'm just giving you examples. So what are the top 1 to 5 to 10 values? Okay. And bringing you back to that. So coming back to your values and living more authentically. So when push comes to shove, sometimes in this business, people feel like they're not being authentic, because usually this is out of kilter. So every single person has a very unique set of values, and what they value as most important to, like, you know, down there on the line a bit. So what lights you up? You know who you are. So what is it that you truly value in your life? And then you think about the universal laws and principles. So when I understood this, I was like, oh, now I know why that relationship ended. Because this person might have, so your team member, your spouse, your kids, they have their, so I'm just going to put team 1. They have a unique set of values also. So they're going to list their 1 to 10 values. Why most relationships break down is this person gives all their values away for someone else's. So if this person's number 1 value is family, and this person's number 1 value is travel, just say that, and this person goes, we're going to go on like a year-long adventure out in the middle of nowhere. And this person goes, okay, that's awesome. And they give their number one value of family, because you're not going to see them. You're not going to have time with them. And they give it up for someone else. I promise you, they'll start to resent them and they'll start to feel unauthentic. And that's where relationships like fizzle out. Or in this business, that's where, teams break down, or they have miscommunication, or someone, if someone values family and time, but this person, puts their values on them. It's like, you have to come to every event and you have to do this. And they take their values away because they're like, okay, I have to do this to be successful. And you can kind of see where the crossover lies. So you, first of all, need to know what your top 10 values are. And then it's a good, useful thing to do it with your team and understand where their values lie. Yeah. And you go to work because you're connected to this, right? So then when you go, okay, when you put the top high paying activities and you connect them to your values, you're unstoppable. So you go, okay, my top value is family. But there is going to be times where I need to be on calls, I need to be on trainings, I need to be at events. That's going to take away from family. But in the long run, all these high-paying activities that I'm going to be doing is going to give me much more time with my family. So if you go, okay, make that connection, family, high-paying activities, the high-paying activities are going to give me a successful business. They're going to give me more money. I'm going to be able to leave my job and spend more time. Then you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to be able to do that, right? So when you connect, there will be times of imbalance. There will be times of strategic imbalance. But I promise you, if you connect your number one values to your high-paying activities and how those high-paying activities can lead you back to more of living inside your values, you become effortless. It becomes ease, grace, and flow. You don't need to get up every day and be like, okay, what's my DMO? You just go to work because you're connected to what it's going to give you. So understanding what your values are, and it's a good thing to do with your team and understand where they come from too. Yeah. But connect those high-paying activities, because people say, well, I don't have enough time to do this, and I don't have enough time to do that, and I've got to do this then, and I've got to do this now, and I've got to do this. If you connect to those high-paying activities, so go like the events, the reaching out to people, the calls, the trainings, the whatnot, the things that are non-negotiables in our business, to, okay, right now it's taking away, but in a year's time, it's going to give me so much more money to travel. It's going to give me so much more family time. It's going to give me more friendship because I'm part of an epic community. I go to work every day. People say, what's your DMR? I'm like, I don't know. I just do a lot of shit. I do a lot of shit. I do it a lot every day. I don't need to think about a DMO. I have to have a schedule because I can very easily get off task, but it's connected to living within my values and living more authentically and giving me more of what I want. Oh, this is a good one. I didn't hear this before, but it was good. Talk about I am statements. Then you go was I statements. So I am statements, very powerful. I am, like, think about who you want to be, who you want to become. I am bold, I'm courageous, I am loving, I'm caring, I'm gratitude, I'm like a kick-ass girl boss, I am, authentic. Then at the end of the day, I used to just do my I am statements again. That self-talk is really important, but was I statements? Was I bold? Was I courageous? Was I kick-ass? Oh, sometimes I'm like, nope, definitely not. Yeah, so you've got to be true to yourself. So I am statements are really impactful, but was I statements at the end of the day? And then you're like, okay, how can I step more into that boldness? How can I step more into being courageous? Who do I need to become? What do I need to do? Repetition is key, but was I statements? It's a really empowering question. And be real, because you can't cheat yourself. Yeah, that's a really cool tool. And then, this is like going off living within your values. It's, I guess the grid, and helping people understand where to spend their time. there will be times where you definitely, there's seasons, but draw a box, draw a window, and there's health and well-being. Okay, health and well-being is in one box. Then you've got soul time, whatever you believe in. I know that there's people out there that believe that says time. There's people in there that believe in different things. Then you've got career and wealth. And then you've got relationships. God, my writing is terrible. Okay, health and well-being, soul time, career and wealth, relationships. So you think about, like in our business, like living the mission. Yeah, living the mission. You think about like going to the gym, eating healthy food, whatnot. I'm not amazing, Marissa. Celine is amazing. There's nothing that I made up. Then you got career and wealth. So you got your business, you might have your job as well. You might have projects you do on the side, whatnot. You might have investment properties, like your career and wealth. Look at all your aspects. Yeah. There are going to be times where you're pushing for promotions, so more time would be spent in here, but you break it down to 100%. So you could say if the world was perfect, you'd spend 25% of your time in each of these boxes. You'd spend 25% in health and well-being. You'd spend 25% in health and career and wealth. You spend 25% on your relationships. Look at all your relationships. Relationships within your business, relationships with your husband, your kids, your parents, your whatnot. Think about all the relationships and think about soul time. Think about how you fill your cup up. It's like it could be meditation. It could be going to church if you're religious. It could be going to personal development courses. It could be going to get a massage. I have no idea what your kind of soul time is. But in a perfect world, you'd spend 25% in each. The world is not perfect. And neither are we. Okay, but what I learned is when I spent too much time, and I spent probably, this one's probably the only one. Oh, actually, yeah. I spent way too much time in each of these before. So when I was losing weight, I was obsessed with going to the gym, with deprivational eating, and this failed. I was working a job then, so that was okay, and this failed too because I just got so obsessed. When my career and wealth, when I'm spending 100% of my time in here on my business, then this fails. This definitely fails, and this just goes out the window. Like right now, my health is not on a good, or my body, my health is really good, but definitely I'm not going to the gym and exercising, and that is both of these for me. So, because I'm spending too much time in here and just saying I'm too busy and making up a story and justifying. Yeah, when my relationships, when I'm spending too much time with, friends and going partying and, all that, then all of this goes down the drain. Yeah, it's so incredible when you just get clear on, yes, will there be times where you're pushing for promotions in your business or, you're focusing a lot on this, and there might have to be some strategic imbalance, but you need to go, in this box, what is my non-negotiable? 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 There has to be non-negotiables in all of them, and there will be times where you spend more time in one box than the other or two boxes than the other. But there has to be things in here that are just non-negotiable that you do every single day to be able to build on these. There'll be seasons, definitely, but how are you doing that? So go and do 5 action steps. I think Celine asked me to do this and I did about 12. Go and do 5 action steps from what you learned from this call. How can you go and do your values? I think that's one of the most important. Go and do that ACE checkup on yourself, the attitude, the commitment, the effort. Go and ask yourself where you're playing below and above the line. And then go and look at this. And so my 5 action step was go to the gym, make the commitment to my body and self-love every single day. Go back to my grid and my follow-ups every single day. Meditation, okay, and I am statements, that's a non-negotiable. Make a commitment to my time. Schedule is a non-negotiable. There's lots of non-negotiables on here. It's very rigid. No more create. I don't know what that says. Oh, be more, yeah. So, okay, be more on time. You know, I'm definitely that girl that's 10 minutes late to everything. So time order myself so I'm not, like, see where I'm not focused. Be direct. So stop reinventing the system, tweak and refine, but go all out. So my biggest thing is, like, I'll try and reinvent systems in times, but I know what works. I know our system is incredible. Schedule friend time away from the business, because most of my friends are in the business, because I've moved away from a lot of people. But there are definitely people outside the business that I'm still friends with, so I need to make more time for them. Be outcome driven, yeah, so do what it takes. Attitude, yeah, it's not just a DMO, it's like, this is my outcome for the day, I'm going to do whatever it takes to do it. Connect with all of my team and be a master asker, so get better at the questions. They were action steps. There was only meant to be 5, but there was a lot. So from everything you learn, go and take action steps, write them down. Yeah, rewatch this call if you need to. Get clear on what your values are. Get clear on what your team's values are. And when you move those values towards the high-paying activities, and know and connect that those high-paying activities are going to move you towards your values and living more in them and living authentically, then it becomes grace. It becomes flow. It becomes grace and ease. It becomes easy. You don't need to say, I have a DMO. Which, one last thing before we wrap it up, because massive love to everyone on this call for staying on. Every single day we talk about a DMO. We talk about a daily method of operation, and it sounds like a job. But instead, think about it in 3 simple steps. Have a vision. Know where you're going. Know the outcome. Know the goal, right? Know what you want from this, short-term and long-term. In the next 2 months, 3 months, what do I want? In the next 6 weeks, what do I want? In the next year, what do I want? In the next 5 years, what do I want? Have a clear vision of where you're going. Number 2 is have rituals multiplied. If you've ever seen Simon Mitchell talk, I respect the guy massively. I coach with him. That's who I was talking about before. And I go to his retreats, and he's been a great friend for a couple of years now. And I respect the dude massively for what he created in this industry. And then he stepped away because this is what he's really passionate about, is coaching. And he said, DMO, he was the one that says, DMO sounds like a job. And I'm like, it does. It sounds boring. It sounds like something I don't want to do. So he's like, instead, think of it like this. Have daily rituals that set you up for success. And that's, you can think about it in 5 simple steps. Every single day, what are you doing to get into a grateful state? Meditation. There are great apps. Headspace. What have I got? Headspace. Is it called Calm? Calm's a good one. Headspace. There's lots of different meditation apps. I use Tony Robbins personally. I use his priming exercise, which is kind of a combination of meditation and gratitude work. So every single day, I honestly, it takes me 12 minutes. Yeah, so getting in a beautiful state. There's no room for fear. There's no room for frustration. It's really easy to get into that and play below the line. But when you set yourself up for success, Karen uses Headspace every day. I love it. I use Tony Robbins personally because I love the dude, and I love his priming exercise. So meditation. Every single day, at least 3 things that you're grateful for. Every single day, at least 3 things that you're proud of. It's really easy to get caught up in goals and to get caught up in the outcome, but 3 things you're proud of every single day, whether that's proud of in your business, whether that's proud of being a mum and doing that, whether that's proud of your job, whatever. 3 things that you're proud of. Movement, okay, some sort of exercise, movement, whatever you like to do, and then also a random act of kindness. And also, I think nourishing your soul from a health perspective is important too. So I like, every day, a perfect day for me is meditation, some form of exercise. I do my gratitude work in a journal, and also the proud stuff in a journal. I also have to drink green smoothies and nourish my body that way, and a random act of kindness. Doing something for someone else without ever expecting anything in return. When you set yourself up and make daily rituals, and I don't mean do it once, I don't mean do it twice, I don't mean do it for a month. Will there be times where you miss it? Of course. Okay, but set yourself up for success with those daily rituals multiplied, as in continue to do them. It takes 21 days to break a habit and 21 days to form a new one. So it will take you, if you give it a strong yes, for at least 3 weeks. right? It'll become a habit and it'll become habitualized and you won't need to think about it. And then that sets you up to impact in your business, to be a better mum, to be a better partner, to be a better leader in your team, to be a better customer service person, to be a better whatever it is that your identity is. Okay, and it changes for all of us. It sets you up to be more inspiring, to be more impactful, to be a better person, to then go and move into that third step, which is your schedule. And go and schedule the non-negotiables first. So go and schedule your work time, because most of us have, I had jobs. Now I don't, right? But go and schedule your work time. Go and schedule your date nights. Go and schedule your kid time. And I mean one-on-one kid time. This is in the drawer. Go and schedule your exercise. Go and schedule your meditation. Go and schedule all those non-negotiables first. Then it opens up to go, okay, what are those non-negotiables in my business that I need to slot in? And then the events go in, and then the trainings go in, and then the talking to people goes in, and then the reach outs and the, signing people up and whatnot. All those things go into your time, your Facebook posts, your scheduling, whatnot, all those things. So go and write down first before you do a schedule. Go and write down all those things in your life that need doing. Go and write down all those things in your business that need doing, and then schedule your life around that. So first of all is having the vision. Second of all is creating the rituals to success. And third is just executing the schedule every day. And I promise you, when you do that, when you get in line and touch with your values, when you understand where you're spending your time and where you need to spend it to be impactful and to be the best version of you, will there be times where your relationships go down the drain a bit? Yes. Will there be times that your business takes a stencil? Yes. Will there times where you're not going to the gym every day and not doing your meditation? Will there be times where you're not going and filling up your own cup? Yes. But it's being consciously aware to then snap yourself back into line and go, you know what? This is important. I'm not being the best I need to be right now. How can I move forward? It's about playing above that line, which is where we started this call. So hopefully those things help in you guys, I guess, moving forward within your business. It is end of month. Have a cracking end of month, whether you can get to a promotion, whether you're going for a stretch goal, whether you're going to qualify your business, I don't know, but be proud of every single step. And I do loads of training calls. I just wanted to make this one while that stuff was fresh in my mind. And if I can be of any help, reach out. And yeah, happy Sunday. And have an awesome Monday.